Spooky times call for spooky rewards for those who find themselves in the Draynor area for the next 2 weeks. Today, October 24, 2022, we see the release of this year's Halloween event. Before we get started, a couple of announcements I want to get out there. Some worlds based in the UK will be offline this Tuesday for necessary maintenance to help keep the services running optimally. The worlds are expected to be offline for approximately 3 hours at 10 o'clock game time on Tuesday. A maintenance post will appear on RuneScape.com while the work is active so you can track if the worlds are still down, and the post will be removed when the worlds have returned. The full list of the worlds are here on screen, so if you play on these worlds frequently, just know that Tuesday at 10 o'clock game time, they're going to be down for some time. Next up, if you haven't noticed, following the release of the Mac beta client, they've added another update to the Jagex launcher over the past week, multi-account support. You can now authenticate multiple accounts with the launcher and flip between them through a simple drop-down menu. Thanks to the security of the launcher, as long as you haven't been inactive for over 30 days, it can all be done at the press of a button with no login credentials required anytime you switch. This is another step forward for their ultimate goal of a single secure Jagex account covering all of your different characters, and they'll keep us updated when progress continues. That said, let's look at today's update, the Halloween event. Halloween is back in Draynor Manor with a new mini quest and new cosmetics for brave skillers. This is a 2-week event running from October 24th to November 6th. Just like last year, you can take on mini quests and train your skills in a variety of haunting activities in the manor grounds. This will earn you spooky tokens that will allow you to build your collection of Halloween cosmetics, of which there are 20 items to acquire, 2 brand new ones this year. With the new mini quest, it follows Fame as you investigate vampires. Completing it will grant you the new vampiric regala outfit, but there are 2 new additional cosmetics as I mentioned earlier, Death's Death Mask and the Renegade Armor cosmetic override, and they also brought back the web cloak. On top of this, you can get yourself some handy buffs to help you complete each activity more effectively, which they're calling boosts. You can get them at the Spooky Reward Shop. So what else can you do in this update? There are 5 different activities to train a variety of skills, each with their own mini quest, the Spooky Reward Shop with the 20 Halloween cosmetics to earn, and the Spooky Time XP bonus for Halloween activities, giving you 14% additional XP if you complete all of the mini quests. In order to play, you want to head on over to the Draynor Manor and speak to the various hosts of each activity. Just like everything else, the Halloween event will be available to players in Fresh Start Worlds, so do check it out if you're interested in playing on that game mode. It is available for you. On top of this, through Treasure Hunter, they are celebrating Halloween with the Grim Harvest event that launches Thursday, October 27th, giving out 3 new cosmetic masks: the Bulap mask, the Spooky Hair, and the Spooky Ghost mask. All of them can be earned in token form through the Harvest bonus. Not only that, there's a very rare, brand new tradable, the Purple Halloween mask, which you have a chance to earn whenever you use a key in the Grim Harvest event. Lastly, every key will provide hodmints, which can then be used in the seasonal store to claim goodies like the Wraith Walk override token and past rewards from Count Yakula's Yak Track. And that is pretty much it for your game update. We're going to now shift on over to the patch notes and see what's changed with today's update, so let's go ahead and check it out. And if you've enjoyed the video so far, do consider hitting that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, I'd love for you to subscribe. Now let's look at those patch notes. Taking a look at Wilderness Flash events, Iron accounts can now correctly open the rewards from Wilderness Flash events. Fixed a scaling issue for Wilderness events that prevented encounters like King Black Dragon Rampage from ending by getting stuck on 0 health. You can now teleport to the next Wilderness Flash event from the event host if you completed the far-reaching and wild-ranging achievements up to 5 minutes before the start of the event. The sack of very wild rewards obtained from the special Wilderness event now drop the correct Black Dragon egg. Looking at general changes, they removed animation stalls from some items to prevent scams. Blessed Hatchet can now be used to cut regular trees. Fixed an issue where ranged ammo damage values were not lining up correctly when players used weapons with offset damage values, most notably reprisers. Fixed the flickering that occurred when casting the Animate Dead spell and entering the wilderness. Fixed animation stalling when casting the Animate Dead spell. Fixed a bug that disabled the Ghost Hunter set bonus when 4 pieces were equipped. Fixed a bug that prevented the Ghost Hunter set bonus from applying against Revenants if the player used range. The Ghost Hunter set will also now correctly work against Revenant dummies at at War's Retreat. The Ghost Hunter set has been given a set effect tooltip. The icons for Spiritual Healing, Corruption Shield, and Vengeance groups were fixed. Agility course records will now be consistently displayed regardless of where they are viewed. Clicking the Whirligig Scarab that's far away will no longer cause you to run around the Oasis pool. The first Whirligig Scarab in a stack will now always succeed. The side door of the Champions Guild now requires at least 33 quest points to enter. Removed a check that was preventing those who follow the path of Iron Man mode from pointing their Virago portals to the borehole. Implemented the following adjustments at the request of players completing quests in timeline order. Moved Blood Pack in the timeline sort between Cook's Assistant and the Restless Ghost for an early intro to combat prior to the Skeletal Warlock. Moved Recipe for Disaster in the timeline sort from Heroic to Legendary, so it's listed after its requirements, Legends Quest, Monkey Madness, and Desert Treasure. Move the Great Brain Robbery in the timeline sort from Heroic to Legendary and below Recipe for Disaster, as it requires Recipe for Disaster freeing Pirate Pete. Reclassified Pieces of Hate's difficulty from Master to Grandmaster, as it requires multiple 80+ skills. This moves the Pirate Finale in the timeline sort from Legendary to Mystic, alongside the finales to the Elf, Dwarf, and Myrique series. Reclassified Desert Slayer Dungeon mini-quest difficulty from Intermediate to Master, as its skill requirements are in the 60 to 80 brackets. This moves it from Champion to Legendary. The quest Slisuke's Endgame will correctly state that skipping the fight will not reward the Agent of Eldest Override or a Prismatic Lamp. Simplify the requirements for the Wandering Gaul mini-quest. Thok's health bar is cleared after leaving the island part of Thok's saga during the Desperate Measures quest. It disappears when progressing through the saga or when leaving it with a dialogue option. Velucia is now talking, as she should, to all levels of players. Fixed an issue that prevented automatons from dropping their unique gloves if they were using their special attack. Fixed an issue which caused an animation for the Iron Fist smithing override to appear inside the player rather than above the anvil being used. The Witch outfit is now consistently unlocked when playing through the Witch's Cauldron promotion, and any pieces of the outfit that were missed will now be unlocked upon logging in. Let There Be Light, the festival surrounding areas in Dimension of the Disaster, are glowing so you can enjoy it with all its splendor. Raven Terry and Samuel LeBeau have been removed. Desert Pantheon Aura UI has been updated and opens in full screen mode now. Fix the crafting icon displaying when hovering over flax instead of the bag icon. The Archaeology Research tutorial window disappears after the tutorial is done. Fixed some cape clipping issues with the closures set, as well as giving the neck a more ghostly appearance. An issue has been fixed where some leg armor was showing the incorrect preview image in Character Create. The total amount of oddments displayed when depositing some is now correctly formatted. Players should no longer see World Auto when logging into the lobby. A typo in Carapac the Bound's boss fight has been fixed. A typo in the conversation with the Gnome Trainers has been fixed, as well as a typo in the Bats Slayer assignment tip being corrected. Hellware has finally remembered how to spell his own name and will no longer refer to himself as Hellware with the W and Y switched going forward. Remove some old style grass foliage from a farming patch in Varrock, and they hotfixed the voice of Saren so it's now visible to the player again. Looking at some mobile changes, battery and Wi-Fi indicators have been added to the mobile UI, reorganized the graphical setting interface. The description for terrain blending now mentions that it also toggles the ground texture setting. XP globes are now disabled on the Hef and Agility course on mobile. The gold highlight around the prayer icon at the bottom of the screen disappears when prayers are off. Terms and conditions and privacy policy buttons no longer redirect the player to Brazilian Portuguese sites on iPad devices if they were playing in English. And finally, they made a fix so login web pages still open in-app, but wiki pages still open out of app. That is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below. Head on over there, check them out. And I'm going to wrap up the video there. But if you haven't already and are interested in seeing what Karamja could look like with a new modern lick of paint, I suggest checking out the video right now on your end screen, where you can look at some of the work done during the recent game jam to bring the Karamja area up to modern standards. Looking forward to seeing you there. I'm going to end the video there. Thanks for watching. Aloha.